Harmohan Sahni joins us, Chief Executive Officer with Raymond Realty. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I can see your boards when I'm in Bombay, big boards across town. So Raymond Realty is now a reality. That's a nice line. Raymond Realty is now a reality.
Thank you so much for having me, Nikunj. So it's a pleasure to be on the show. Yes, you're right. You're seeing our marketing campaign. That's all part of our launching our new project in Mumbai. We've been in Thane for the last 3 years. So now we are expanding our footprint into Mumbai. So that's the reason why you're seeing those hoardings and the marketing campaign.
One is that you're developing your existing land bank, which is the old mill land historically owned by Raymond. You've started constructing on that in Thane. But you're also developing land banks in Bandra. You're also developing land banks in other parts of Mumbai. Why are you doing that? Because you have such a huge legacy land advantage. Why not just build and make that big?
So obviously, there are business reasons for doing this. One is the concentration risk, which needs to be diluted because if we are in one location and there is a limit to how much absorption that can happen in that market. Since this is a business that we are serious about and we want to grow it to scale, the ambition of the group is quite large in this space. So that ambition, that hunger is not going to be fulfilled by just developing the Thana legacy land. So we have to expand, and that's what we've done in the last 2-3 years, and that's the mandate with which I actually joined the team, and we've taken it forward over the last 3.5 years.
The land, since your land bank is in Mumbai, and that's where you are right now developing, and I mean both land bank and JVs are in Mumbai, the landscape of Mumbai is changing. One bridge coming from here, one bridge coming from there, a lot of undergrounds coming, metro coming in. How will that change? Because ultimately housing is about accessibility, infrastructure, and how the map of the city is moving. How will the dynamics change for you because of this infrastructure development?
So infrastructure development is always good for the real estate business, and it's essentially good for the city and the general population. So anything which is good for citizens is going to be good for real estate because we are trying to fulfill a basic need. One of the roti kapda makan is the basic need. So as far as Bombay is concerned, I think Bombay was lagging behind in terms of infrastructure, and there have been lots of large plans which we have heard over the last 20 years, which didn't come to fruition. But in the last 5 to 7 years, we have seen a lot of work going on, whether it is metro, whether it is road network. All of this is great, and we've seen the other cities in India develop. For instance, Delhi has fantastic infrastructure in terms of road network, in terms of metro that you see. So I think it is something which is very, very positive. It is good for existing areas which will be better connected, and it will also grow the market. Bombay was lagging behind a little bit in terms of competitiveness because of lack of infrastructure. If you look at the data, we've seen actually reverse migration in Mumbai city, the island city, and people have moved to the suburbs. The reason for that is commuting times are very large, prices have gone up. And a very big reason of that is lack of connectivity and public transport. Now, public transport coming in, private transport getting facilitated through better road network, I think it will add to the competitiveness of the city. It will go a long, long way.
Definitely, the infrastructure is definitely picking up. But I just wanted to come back to that Bandra project because I remember you were talking about a revenue potential of 2,000 crores from there. When will it start kicking in? And I understand that this is done with a development partner. Could you talk to us about, have you identified someone?
So, see, this is a redevelopment project. There are about 10 societies which our partner had aggregated over a period of time. So we have partnered with that person. He's got a minority stake. Essentially, we are more than 90% in the project. So the role of the partner essentially was to get the land to us, and everything else we are doing. And the real consumer that we are serving in this case are two. One is the existing society where we have to give them houses, which is on a separate piece of land that we will do. And the central core portion of the land will be for the consumers, which will be Raymond consumers, where we will be selling them. So these are two independent projects, one part redevelopment and one part we will be doing for sales.
So that
And your second part of the question was, when will it kick in? We launched the project yesterday evening to all our channel partners. We unveiled all the details. So it will start kicking in from next financial year, which is April 24 to March 25. So you will start seeing in our P&L the result of this project. But the work has already started. The construction has started. The sales will be starting from today onward.
So are you following what could be called as like a cost plus model? I mean, the realty business is structured around land, which you have built on it. That's cost plus. Joint development, you're putting in capital. Somebody gets the land. Again, it's a cost plus model.
No, realty business is not a cost plus model, at least the way we are doing. And JDAs principally are taking an equity bet you're doing. But the only difference is that when you buy land, you're putting your equity in land. And then for construction, you either get funding or part equity. And even buyer's equity funds that, the way things are in most parts of the world. Buyer's equity also plays a role. But in JDAs, we don't put our equity in land. Land is brought in by the landowner, or in this case, it's a redevelopment for Bandra. So the society has the equity in land, and they will get paid off in terms of redeveloped area that they will get from us. So our equity and debt funding, whatever we do, will be in the form of construction and approval costs that we would be doing. So that's the key difference between buying land and JDAs.
There is this benchmark which we use in the real estate sector. That real estate cycle comes for 5 to 7 years and then it goes flat with a downward bias for 5 to 7 years, then it comes back. Where do you think we are in that cycle in Mumbai?
So actually, this time around, if you see, the down cycle lasted longer than usual. And even the down and up cycles over the last 2 or 3, maybe 3 cycles, it has not been as predictable as it has been in the last 50, 100 years. And these are cycles which are not just Mumbai market, they even transcend beyond country. So even globally, we have seen these 7 to 8 year cycles, whether it is the Western market or east of India that you see. But for the last 3 cycles, since this globalization which has happened and kicked in, the world has got so integrated that these cycles have been very erratic. Sometimes, I mean, last to last cycle, down cycle was just 2 years, and then it bounced back. And the last down cycle that we have come out of just 2 years ago was almost 8.5 year down cycle. Of course, I mean, the real estate in India saw some structural changes as well as the cyclical changes which happened, because with the advent of RERA, GST, also in Bombay, we had the new DP plan coming in 2034. So those were the structural changes which happened, and it coincided with the down cycle. So it was a double whammy for almost 8.5 years, which we came out of about 2 years ago. And I think the entire industries came out of it with a bang. And of course, there was also pent-up demand for the last 8-9 years. And then after COVID, there is anyway revenge buying which happens, especially large ticket items, whether it's cars, houses. Every large crisis in the world has seen that the big ticket items have an upcycle right after that for almost 2-3 years. So we will probably see a double wave. So one wave is because we've come out of COVID and people have been reminded of their mortality. So they want to quickly fulfill their desires and do whatever they thought they've been putting off. And of course, the real estate upcycle has also begun. So I think this time around, this cycle will probably upcycle will last longer because of this twin factor. And to answer your question squarely, I think this is the end of second year that we are in that cycle. So there is a lot of steam left in the market.
Okay, a lot of steam left in the market. Thanks so much for making time and speaking with us. Appreciate you joining us on ET Now. Quickly